This young lady's name from Glenbrook South was Liz Miles, and she wanted to start a team here. And eventually she got me to start a team, and when we started, it was pretty much Liz Miles and her 20 friends. And we did one conference. We went to the University of Chicago conference. And to be honest, we didn't really know what we were doing, but everybody had a good time and said, you know, we need to figure out how to do this better.
For the first time this year, our team was ranked one of the top 25 in the nation by one of the more respected Model United Nations publications. And for me, one of the most incredible experiences of high school has been watching the team grow and become better and better and become this force on the Model United Nations stage that everyone knows about. And that's been incredible for me to watch and be a part of.
I think we have about 120 students in the club, and we're doing 13 conferences, and in 7 years we went from not knowing anything to being one of the best teams in the nation, so we're very proud of that.
This year I'm the president of the GBS Model UN team. I have to work with Mr. Doswick and Ms. Beckwith to make sure we have enough finances to go to conferences, decide what conferences we're going to be going to, finding out the members that are going to be going there. Every week we have a board meeting and I make an agenda for that. I send it out to our board. Even though we have chairs that do publicity and fundraising, it's kind of my job to make sure that everybody is doing their job.
Every Tuesday we come to the ARC, there's usually some snacks, and then you want to announce any upcoming conferences or any announcements that we have. And then usually there's a current catch-up, so one of our board members will present about some current event that's going on in the world today. And then we usually have an activity planned that relates to Model UN and improving your public speaking, writing, or just collaboration skills.
You need to be willing to give your time to Model UN. There's a lot of research that needs to go into it in order to be successful. Knowledge is power, we like to say. If you don't come armed with any facts about your position, you're not going to have fun or succeed.
So this conference is Lab Monk, a conference that is run by the UChicago Laboratory School. So what I did to prepare for this conference was I did a good amount of research. So basically what I start off with is the background guide, which is something that's submitted by the chair of the committee, the leader, the guy who runs the committee. And that basically gives me like some background information.
After research, you write your position paper, and then when you go into committee, you start debating and you try and come up with a resolution that's adequate and sound, and you want to try and make sure you get all aspects of the problem solved with your single working paper.
Say today I'm representing Israel in the UNHCR, the High Commissioner for Refugees, and the topic is the Palestinian refugees in the Levant. So I have to take the opinions that Israel has towards refugees and present those. You put your own beliefs aside, you put those aside, and you represent Israel in this case. You go to this conference, you write a position paper that's less than a page, and you go into it with solutions on how to solve the problem. That is the goal of Model UN, to by the end of the day have a resolution that addresses what the problem is and how your country is going to help fix it.
So for me, Model UN is probably the biggest challenge I've faced in high school, but it has also reaped the biggest rewards. I've never felt so pushed out of my comfort zone and so in the dark about what I'm doing and what I'm supposed to do back, sophomore year when I first started. But I've also never felt or rarely felt a reward as great as, giving an awesome speech or coming back from a conference with an award, and it's just the best feeling. Before I was really scared raising my hand in class or talking just in front of any group of people, but now that I'm in Model UN, I'm not scared about speaking in front of anyone.
The best thing about Model UN for me is that definitely just learning about the different opinions on issues, or just learning about different issues.
In regards to traveling, I'm really excited this year because in November we're going to Princeton. In addition, we're going back to New York. which is of course our famous nationals. Last year we won nationals, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. I had the privilege of speaking at the UN headquarters in New York City, and it was fantastic. And I think Model UN is very rewarding, but definitely traveling on those 4-day conferences with your best friends is by far the best part.
So my favorite part of Model UN is definitely the family that it is at South. You can't even describe it. Just being a part of Model UN links you to people you never would have known beforehand. And my best friends, I don't know if I would have met them had it not been for Model UN. It's different. It's people from such different groups, and they all come together and combine their interests in world politics and what's going on in the world. And we have like conversations where we genuinely care about politics, genuinely care about what's happening in the Middle East, and it's so nice to have a group of people that you can have intellectual conversations with and become so close with through Model UN.
Every year when we win a conference or earn a Best Delegation Award, the team is so excited. After the ceremony ends, they go off into the corner and they sing the Titan Fight song. And they sing it in such spirited fashion, and they're jumping around and they're so happy. And the team has worked so hard for 3 or 4 days to get to that particular point. It's just fun for me to listen to them belt out the Titan Fight song.